I'm great at giving love to people. I've never, very rarely ever allowed myself to receive it.
Really?
Yeah.
Even with your family or with friends or?
I love them, but me allowing myself just to go, "Whew, they love me." I've never said that out loud till right now.
Wow.
Once I'm really worth it, then I'll get around to having it. I'll get it, but I don't have it yet.
What would it take for you to be really worth it?
Well, that's the thing, is like that line keeps moving.
Yeah, okay.
And so that line keeps moving. I go, when I do that.
I'm worth $1 million, okay,
Right.
but not till 10 million, till 100 million, till.
The line moves. And where it's been healing for me lately is like, I'm worthy of it now. I've always been worthy of it. And the truth is, the right type of love has no conditions on it. Like my children, I love them unconditionally. There's literally nothing either one of them can do to make me love them less or more. And I tell them that all the time. You get this or that. I can't love you more and I can't love you less. And then I realized something in my faith. God loves me even more. He's always loved me even more. He's made me in his image and likeness. And for all of you that are listening to this, you were born to do something great with your life, but that's not the condition to receive love. All this achievement, you and I are both about a max out, you're about greatness. Mm-hmm. The highest form of maxing out and greatness is to give and receive love.
Yeah, but you didn't receive it that well.
No, and I think lately I'm like, I feel you, thank you, I accept that. When someone compliments me, I always go, yeah, but you're, and lately I go, I'll take that, thank you. Mm-hmm. I'll take that, thank you. And at first it even felt a little insincere, disingenuous. But I've had many more moments since my dad died, candidly. Since my dad died, I'm like, I robbed myself of that. And I'll tell you what happened. Right before my dad died, we had a conversation and my dad said to me, I'm so proud of you.
Wow.
And I love you so much. And I said, Dad, he goes, no, I want you to listen to me. And he said this to me, he goes, I can't believe God gave you to me as my son.
Wow.
I felt loved. And I went, he's felt that way all of his life. Why did I wait till his last breaths to receive it? And I'm not going to do that again in my other relationships. I'm not going to wait till they're gone. My dad's impact, you and I were both talking about our dads. My dad's impact is far greater on me now than it was when he was gone. And you don't need to wait for that. You don't need to wait around for that in your life. You can receive it now. And I allow myself to receive it much more often now. I was always in the future, which is a good place to be. I'm not a guy who's in the past a lot.
Because then you're innovating, you're resourceful, you're creating something from nothing.
Yeah,
it's powerful.
I'm not a past guy, but I'm a future guy. But the truth is, the best people are able to be in the future, but be present in the present time. And I didn't do that very well. There's a lot of times, man, when my kids would do things, and now Christine goes, do you remember when Bella? And I'll go, I don't remember. She goes, but you were actually there. But I wasn't. So would I change that? Yes. I should have given myself the gift of being more present where I was. And I do that very well now. I'm very much a present person.
You turn your phone off after you get home and you put it in your car or whatever you do. You spend 10 minutes closing things out and then you go in the house and you connect. Yeah.
I do. Yeah. I have strategies for it because I know me. And then anger. I'm an intense dude. In fact, people who see me now on social that knew me back then will be like, wow, man, like you've really changed. I just thought that my intensity and even what moved into anger was strength because I saw it in my dad.
Because it got results, certain results.
And I think I modeled it a little bit. My dad was a yeller and my dad could go to anger pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And I used to think that's what a man did. I've watched my dad in many physical fights, many. Angel games. I watched my dad side of the freeway. I watched, we came out of church one Sunday, St. Dennis Catholic Church in Diamond Bar. Some guy said something my dad didn't like in the donut line. And we got in the car, and my dad calls the guy over to the car, and he says, hey, what did you say? Bam, and headbutts the guy at church in the parking lot in front of all the other parishioners, right? So I think I modeled a little bit, I didn't do anything like that, but I modeled, hey, anger, men can do that thing, don't disrespect me, that whole thing.
Yeah.
And so I had a lot of that when I was young, like, I'm going to assert my authority.
Yeah.
And as I got older, it's almost become funny to me. And what the change for me was having kids. I'm like, if someone ever spoke to my daughter or my son the way that I've talked to some of these people that have been around me, and for someone like you that knows me now, they'll be like, there's just no way, man. No, man, I really did. I really said things I regret. I really did things that were out of anger too often, and I don't like that guy. Anytime I see someone operating out of anger, I think they're afraid.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's when do I get angry? I got angry today. So my show got posted today, and someone on my team posted it incorrectly, and it wasn't on YouTube. And so my default when that happened was anger.
Yeah.
Who did this? What happened?
I know
you know
that
the feeling,
yeah,
right?
Of course.
But what was I really? I was afraid. I was afraid the show wouldn't do well. I was afraid it would be embarrassing. I was afraid the guest was going to be upset with me. So when I operate out of anger, it's always fear. Well, what about back in the day when you were hard on people? I was afraid I was going to be broke. I was afraid we were going to lose the business. I was afraid this situation was going to happen. I was afraid someone was going to shame me, so I'm going to get in front of it and be angry with them. So for me, anger is just a manifestation of fear. And when I see it in other people, men or women, I have empathy for them because I know they're afraid.
Yeah.
And I really do believe that. I think anger is always a result of some type of fear. The idea that still people manage a day in 24 hours is hilarious to me. That this archaic concept that a day is 24 hours is bananas. Like the 24-hour day was just made up by somebody about the sun and the earth going around each other, 100 million years ago or whatever it was. And this is before there was electricity, there were cars, there was the internet, there was a smartphone. So you're gonna tell me I should measure my day the same duration of time, I calibrate time, when the same dude didn't have the internet? Well, I used to have to do a project in high school. We'd have to go to the encyclopedia, go down to the library and research for hours. And my kids can Google something in 10 seconds now and I can text message you instead of mailing you something that takes a month to get to you. So I've shrunk my days. My days now are from, my first day is from 6 a.m. to noon. 6 a.m. to noon, I get into that day, whatever I want. Some days are chill, some days are faith, some days are working out. But the amount, we've all had that morning where you go, I got done more this morning than I have in 3 weeks.
I know.
Right? So why can't that be every day? And it is, I can tell you. So my first day is 6 a.m. to noon. At noon, a clock goes off. We're in day 2. And I reevaluate really quickly for 5 seconds. What just happened? What did I do? What do I need to do more of? Next day is noon to 6 p.m. I'm gonna get the same amount of business, contacts, faith, fun, whatever it is in that ecstasy in that day. Third day is 6 p.m. to midnight. It's a third day. This gives me 3 days in one day. I get 21 days a week. If I get 21 days a week, you get 7, stacked it up over a month, a year, 5, 10 years, I'm going to smoke you in life, right? And I've bended and manipulated time so that my accountability is different. It's not the end of a day or end of a week or end of a month. It's at the end of basically a 6 or 8 hour window. For most people, their relationship with the pain and the inconvenience is to avoid it.
Avoid as
so
much
if you
as
could
possible.
be, but if you could say to yourself, on the other side of this is this other self. And so whatever your pain is right now, relationships just ended, financially, something that's difficult for you to do, maybe you're trying to lose weight, whatever it might be, on the other side of that temporary pain is the other self.